Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. Starting to get cold here. Winter, I guess, has set in, even though I told it not to. So it's just been so cold. I hope you're staying warm wherever you are. And if you're in a warmer climate, we're all jealous of you because, yeah, winter's here. All right, this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Gemini. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't for someone else. This will be your weekly reading for the week of December 7th through the 13th. So, also, oh, well, we will have a waning gibbous moon. Didn't even talk about the moon, started talking about the weather. We will have a waning gibbous, which is a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth, a time for us to make positive changes and just see our potential to grow, get rid of some bad habits, some things that maybe we picked up this month or trying to get rid of course. We then have the last quarter moon that comes in on the 13th. And last quarter is a really good day for self reflection, releasing what no longer serves us, and starting to think about those things that we want to change during the next cycle when the new moon comes around. So keep those moon energies in mind. All right, let's get into this reading. Your overall message for today's reading, Gemini, will be a time for healing. Okay, let's see what the Gemini Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to say that if I can shuffle the tarot, there we go. My fun weekly reminder this week is that you take a little bit of time to meditate. So if meditation is not something that you already practice, maybe it's a really good week to try, especially with that waning gibbous energy, because it's a really good time for that self-reflection. And that's really something that is, when you meditate, it's a good self-reflective time. So anyway, that is my fun weekly reminders that you just still your mind and your body. Maybe get headphones if you need to. There's lots of guided meditations on YouTube that are very helpful. But quiet yourself, your mind, and your body, and just go in and explore. So if you do that, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's just something that is a really good thing to begin to practice, even if it's just a little bit at a time. If you can make 5 to 10 minutes a day, and then just try to increase those times, so and just see what happens for you. All right, sorry, Gemini, I guess I'm a little babbly today. Let's get into this reading. So December 7th through the 13th, a time for healing. We've got a couple of cards that want to fly out, so we're just going to go ahead and put those on top and take them. Your overall present energy is Queen of Cups. So, really in a place where you're understanding your emotional responses to things, but also kind of taking that time to understand the people around you and their emotional responses to things. Anytime we're talking about royalty, I feel like it's not only it's about your personal picture, but also how that relates to the bigger picture and the people around you, the people in your kingdom, so to speak. So, so that you're just sitting in this understanding of, maybe you've taken the time to listen to someone recently and understand their emotions, but you're really just trying to understand that and be in that understanding space, again, not only for yourself, but for other people as well. Your current situation is the Wounded Warrior card here with the Nine of Wands. So kind of looking back on your past, maybe your recent past. And here's some things, again, this is the self-reflective time that we do during this waning gibbous. It's a good time to do this. You kind of look back and say, even if it's just the last cycle, but you can even go further back, the last 6 months, the last year, and think, what are things that I would change in my life? And what would I do differently? How can I move differently moving forward? We're coming towards that time where we start to make those New Year's resolutions. How do you want to live differently this year than you did, in the year that we're currently in? Are there things that you want to do differently in your personal life? Things in your, this could be like, of course, we all think about changing our exercise plan or our diet plan, when it comes around to the first of the year, but you might be thinking about things in your relationship, are there things that you want to put forward and do that you haven't done in the past year that you want to make new habits, new good habits with? This could be things that you want to do in the financial realm, things in your physical realm, things with your home. Maybe you want to paint this room or redo this thing over here. So we start to think about what changes do we want to make in our life to make it better. So doing that, we look back and think what is not working for us and what can we change in the future coming up. I hope that all made sense. The root of your situation is the devil card. So maybe you've got the devil coming in to kind of make you feel a little bit insecure about something, or just kind of make you think about something there, some insecurity or something that's come up. But usually these are false truths that are coming around. So don't let those things come into you that don't really need change. The devil might say, hey, you need to change this thing, but it's kind of the devil saying it. It's not a trusted source. Right? So maybe you don't need to change certain things. So really make sure you're looking through that, and through those fear and lack of confidence things that the devil might be saying to you at your core. This is kind of that negative self-talk, that sort of thing. Make sure that that's not at the root of the changes that you do want to make. In your recent past is the King of Swords. So you've gone into things in your past as just very logical. This is what I call the Mr. Spock of the deck. So everything that, and when it comes to emotions and things like that, not everything is logical. Sometimes things really don't make sense, right? So you may be trying to square those things. You may be thinking, I am a very logical person. This is how I approach things, but these things are emotional that I'm dealing with, and I might have to kind of put on that emotional cap as I'm trying to plan my future. Think about things in an emotional realm as well. What is on your mind this week is a celebration here with the Four of Wands. So there may be some, a lot of times that's the card of weddings. So maybe there's some wedding on your mind or something there, party planning, that sort of thing, just planning some sort of celebration. And maybe that's off into your future, but it's something that's on your mind this week and you're kind of thinking about it. Maybe you're trying to prepare for that. What is just ahead of you this week is the Five of Swords. So maybe some sort of communication where some feelings get hurt. This is kind of that card of this is winning through deceit or underhanded tactics is what we're taught as tarot readers. But I feel like it's kind of saying things that it's sword energy, it's air energy, it's words that are coming through the air. And I feel like in this card we're seeing the representation of people that are hurt by words. So, maybe choose your words very kindly this week and be careful about, saying things that might be misconstrued or that might hurt feelings around you. So our words are important. It looks like a couple of these swords were thrown. There might be things that you're holding back. Maybe you're not saying the complete truth and you're trying to kind of save someone's feelings there. So but just be careful about words that you say it and realize that there is a big effect on others. In your advice position is the Page of Wands. So to me, this is, continue to explore those things that you find passionate, the things that make you happy, and, just bring you passion in your life. There might be something newly discovered to you that you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was really, enjoyed this. Maybe it's a part of some hobby that you're involved with, or maybe a new hobby altogether, something, but there's some sort of curiosity and something that's new to you that's kind of budding, and um, something that you're going to be, very passionate about. What is beyond your control this week is the Temperance card, which thank goodness that she's there because we have this devil down here. So now you also, and I think more stronger, you have this angel in your ear too. So there might be some sort of kind of battle that you're fighting back and forth, with this angel and this, I call these the angel and devil on your shoulders. You've got the one saying the very negative thing, and the other, the devil's like, oh, you should do it, you should do it, and the angel's like, no, don't do that. So you've kind of got that back and forth, that inner battle going on this week about something. So that's very interesting there. But make sure, of course, let's try to listen to the good, not the evil. That's the way that should go. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid is the Fool card. So is it your secret desire to take off on a new journey in this realm, or are you trying to avoid that? That'll be a big question for you this week. And maybe that's what this angel and demon are kind of battling over, is you taking off on a new journey and doing something in a new way. And you're kind of fighting that. There's kind of just an inner little fight going on between, inner and outer perhaps. But in your outcome position, excuse me, sneezy there. In your outcome position is the Ten of Wands. So something that you are going to push through and be done with, whatever that may be. Um, and so maybe you do choose this new beginning because you're kind of, you've kind of done the evaluation. I'm going to be this way. Maybe you're trying to be more emotional. Maybe you're trying to access those emotions and be, a little softer, a little more caring, and be very, very careful again about these words and how you choose your words this week. What is hidden from you this week, Gemini, is the 10 of Pentacles. So, this is kind of our longevity when it comes to wealth and security. This would be kind of generational wealth. And then that's kind of, it's not what you're thinking about this week when it comes to that. You're kind of thinking about this final push through to something. And it's kind of even hard to tell. Your elements are definitely all over the place. The only cups that I see are here with this Queen of Cups and the only Pentacles here. So it's definitely a lot about thought, passion, communication this week. Um, Very interesting with a few major arcana. So not a big major change for you this week, but you're deeply thinking like you're on the cusp of. Anytime I have like, if I would say I had four major arcana on the table, I would say it's kind of a major transformation for you. It's almost like you're almost at a major transformation for some reason, but there is something that you're thinking about here. Just again, be careful how you're using your words and make sure that when you're looking back and making that evaluation for that final push, maybe you are going to choose this new journey and this new way of being. It could just be as simple as speaking kinder. It could be that you're trying to think of how you can do that. Maybe your words have been harsh and you'd like to change that, right? So but it's a time for healing. So make sure that you are healing yourself and looking back and choosing a new better way to be. That's what we're all trying to do all the time. So all right, final message here for Gemini from the Soul Oracle deck. Correct your mistakes. All right. So maybe you owe someone an apology. Maybe there is something going on there that was some battle of words or something that went awry there. Again, I feel like it's a battle of logic and emotion. It's also a battle between the angel and the devil. So you've got some battling, I think, going on with you this week in the midst of kind of thinking about some celebration also. So got a lot going on in your mind, Gemini. So again, that rest and meditation might really be important for you. Take that time to just kind of go within and really sort things out in your own mind. All right, self-care for Gemini. Self-care for Gemini this week. And the card that comes up for you is the card that says needs. Do you need more time to yourself? A break from thinking too much? A kind encounter with a friend? Your needs matter and it's time to honor them. I mean, I'm telling you to think about it, and this card literally just contradicted all of that. So maybe it isn't about thinking too much. Maybe you have been thinking too much, and I'm reading this totally wrong, but I feel like, and maybe it is some outside sources that are coming in and changing your mind. Maybe it's just time for a little mental break and don't think so much about it. Again, it looks like it's a battle between logic and emotion, but also good and evil. So that's a lot. That's a lot inner. That is a lot inner going on. So you may just need that inner break, Gemini, and cut yourself a little bit of slack and just relax a little bit. So, Gemini, thanks so much for being here with me. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know. Is there some battle going on that you've been feeling? Are you looking, are you looking at your past and trying to make those changes? Um, Logic, emotion, good and evil, all those things play a part, and I think it's things that we're all struggling with all the time too. So don't think you're alone out there. The rest of us are constantly doing these things as well. So anyway, if you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week where we can see where this story goes. So thanks so much, Gemini, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.